So Warren Buffett is the most famous anti-speculation investor alive. Buy great businesses, hold forever, literally ignore the noise. So it might surprise you to learn that Berkshire Hathaway has sold billions upon billions of dollars in cash-secured put options over the years and used the exact mechanism to acquire one of the most famous positions in their portfolio's history. The options industry doesn't want you to really know this because it demolishes the idea that selling puts is some exotic, risky, speculative strategy reserved for professionals only. Look, the greatest conservative investor of all time did it. He did it quietly, and he did it exactly the way that we talk about here in the Ark Options Strategy. In 1993, Berkshire Hathaway wanted to own Coca-Cola stock. They already had a large position, but Buffett wanted more shares. The stock was trading around $35 to $38 per share at the time, and he believed that at the price closer to $35 represented excellent value for him. So rather than placing a limit order and waiting or buying at the market price, Berkshire sold put options on Coca-Cola stock. The puts gave the buyers the right to sell shares to Berkshire at $35. Berkshire collected the premium immediately. If Coke dropped to $35 or below, they'd be obligated to buy the shares. If it didn't drop, they kept the premium and walked away with income and no shares acquired. Berkshire collected approximately $7.5 million in premium from selling those puts. In effect, they were paid $7.5 million to agree to buy Coke at a price they already wanted to buy it at. The outcome? Coca-Cola didn't ever drop to the strike. Buffett kept the premium, and he later disclosed this trade in the 1993 Berkshire Annual Letter, calmly, without fanfare, as a straightforward example of a sensible transaction. This is not a rumor or an interpretation. It's in the shareholder letter, in Buffett's own words. Here's what this trade reveals about how sophisticated, patient investors actually think about options and why it's so different from how options get sold to retail investors. Buffett didn't sell those puts because he was trying to generate income, for income's sake. He sold them because he already had made a decision. Coca-Cola at $35 is a price I want to pay. The put mechanism was to get paid for a commitment that he already made in his own analysis anyway, right? That's the mental model. You don't sell a put and then hope the stock stays above the strike. You sell a put on a stock that you've already decided that you want to own at that price. The premium is not the primary goal here. The potential ownership at a fair price is the goal. The premium is what you earn for making the commitment explicit, okay? This reframes the entire question of what options are even for. Not speculation or direction, not complex hedging, just a formal paid mechanism for saying, hey, I'm gonna buy this stock at this price. Pay me now for the agreement. Let's talk about the Berkshire scale and the retail version of this, right? Berkshire's put positions over the years have been enormous. In addition to individual stock puts for acquiring position, Berkshire has at various points sold long-dated puts on equity indexes worth literally hundreds of millions of dollars in premium. These are large institutional positions that work at Berkshire's scale for them, right? The retail version, though, is the same strategy works at really any scale, in my opinion. A cash-secured put on 100 shares of a quality stock requires only the collateral for that position. The mechanics are still identical. The discipline is identical. The only thing that's different is the dollar amount in this case. And this matters because it answers a question a lot of people have about this strategy. Is this legit? Is selling puts and calls actually a proven conservative approach? Look, when Warren Buffett is publicly doing it in Berkshire's annual letter, in my opinion, the credibility question is settled. What more do you need? Let's talk about the Coca-Cola trade, though, step by step, because it's awesome. I love this thing. Let's walk through it. And in most importantly, simple terms, because the mechanics are worth understanding really clearly, especially if you're new to all this stuff. So Berkshire decides Coca-Cola at $35 is a fair price to buy, right? The stock is trading higher than $35. Rather than just waiting patiently and passively, Berkshire sells options struck at $35. Options buyers pay Berkshire a premium for the right to sell them Coke at $35. Berkshire has two outcomes in this case. Coca-Cola falls to $35, Berkshire buys the shares at the price that they already wanted anyway. And they also have the premium they collected, which essentially reduces their effective cost basis below $35. Or Coke stays above $35, the puts expire, worthless, Berkshire keeps the premium, and the capital is freed up to do whatever else that they wanted it to do. Both outcomes were acceptable for them, and that's the design. When both outcomes are acceptable, is the strategy even a bet? It's a negotiation with the market for an entry price on a stock that you already wanted anyway. Let's talk about their more broader uses of options, because the Coca-Cola trade is the most cited example. I love it, but Berkshire has a longer history with options as an income and acquisition tool as well. So in the 2000s and into the 2010s, Berkshire sold large-scale equity index puts with multi-year expirations. These generated hundreds of millions of dollars in upfront premium for them. The logic literally was the same though. So Buffett believed the major stock market indexes would be higher 15 to 20 years out than they were at the time. He was also willing to make that formal commitment and get paid for it. The key constraint Buffett has always applied: he only sells puts when the strike represents a price he'd actually want to own the underlying at. And when the premium received is genuinely meaningful for the risk being taken on, these are the same constraints that we do here at the Ark Options Strategy and what it's been built on. It's not a coincidence. It's the same underlying logic applied at different scales. The Berkshire Coca-Cola trade teaches one foundational lesson for us, right? The most powerful thing about selling puts is not the premium. It's the discipline of pre-committing to a price. When you sell that put, you've already done the analysis. You've already decided the stock is worth owning at that strike. The option is just the formal mechanism that gets you paid for that prior decision. The premium is a bonus, okay? The potential ownership at a fair price is the actual investment thesis that you made for yourself, okay? And this is why selling puts on stocks you don't understand or on stocks you wouldn't want to own is dangerous, and why it produces the blow-up stories you hear about. The structure isn't the risk. The lack of underlying analysis is the risk. Buffett's use of puts also validates the holding period mindset. He wasn't trying to scalp premium and move on immediately, right? He was patient, right? He was position oriented and willing to own the outcome no matter what direction it went. That patience is what makes options income sustainable over years, not just a clever selection of strikes, but a genuine willingness to own what you're actually selling puts on. So let's talk about how I kind of apply this stuff, right? Because every put I sell starts with the same question, right? It's the same question Buffett was asking about Coke. Do I want to own this stock at this price? Not, is this premium worth the risk? Not, will this option expire worthless? And praying that it does. Those questions, they come after, all right? The ownership question has to come first and foremost. If I'm not willing to own the stock at the strike I'm considering, I don't sell the put. Full stop. Literally, the premium doesn't change the answer, right? A fund paying $200 in premium on a stock I never want to own is still a bad trade. When the answer is yes, though, I genuinely want these shares at this price, the put becomes one of the clearest mechanisms in investing. I've pre-committed to an entry. I get paid for that commitment. If the stock comes to me, I own something that I already wanted at a price I already approved of. If it doesn't, I keep the premium and I rinse and repeat. Buffett did it with Coke. The scale was just different. The logic was literally identical to what we're doing here. Got some questions for you guys in the comments. I don't know about you guys, but this story always gives me chills about Warren Buffett and Coke. So let me ask you, did you already know about that Coca-Cola put trade, or is this the first time you're actually hearing about it? And number two, does knowing that Buffett uses this exact mechanism kind of change how you think about the legitimacy of the wheel strategy and cash secured puts at a strategy? Drop them down below. And if you want to attend my 90-minute Ark Options Strategy, I dive way more into this over 90 minutes, and I give you some incredible free gifts. I give you my trade log, I give you my 2 income calculators, as well as my 10 favorite wheel strategy stocks that are all under $30. You can find them all by attending the Ark Options Strategy Workshop. I'll leave that as the first link in the description of today's video, guys. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.